17 Patriot launchers, a supply of missiles, and full logistical support. Donald Trump's decision could significantly bolster Ukraine's defense capabilities. In the face of the Kremlin's large-scale attacks on Ukrainian cities, delivery time is of the essence. The US president promises that deliveries will be lightning fast.
Well, we're going to have some come very soon, within days, actually, because a couple of the countries that have Patriots are going to swap over and will replace the Patriots with the ones they have, and Matt will coordinate with NATO. But so it's going to be, they're going to start arriving very soon.
The plan to provide military support to Ukraine was discussed at the recent NATO summit in The Hague. In the face of a revision of US security policy, Washington wanted European countries to become more actively involved in helping Ukraine. This is to ensure that the US arms market is open to orders for targeted deliveries to Ukraine. The first effects are already visible, as more countries confirm their readiness to participate in this project.
We don't have these kind of systems, the Patriot systems. So if we should lean in that, and we are absolutely ready to do so, it will be, money. And we have to work out the details. It could be the Ukrainian buying it themselves, and then we have to, support Ukraine, or it could be directly payment to US. I think we must work out the details. The most important thing is that we now have American readiness to deliver these most needed weapons.
To the schoolyard, they fight like hell.
According to some US media, consultations on the use of offensive weapons also allegedly took place to the side of the official military support agreements. US President Trump allegedly asked the Ukrainian president directly whether, with the right weapons, he would be willing to strike Moscow directly. Volodymyr, can you hit Moscow? Can you hit St. Petersburg too? Absolutely. We can if you give us the weapons. The White House has not confirmed that such a conversation took place, but at the same time, other media outlets report that Tomahawk missiles, the same one used by the Americans to attack Iranian nuclear bases during the 12-day Israeli-Iranian war, have appeared on the preliminary list of weapons that could be transferred to Ukraine. In addition, the package of already approved support allegedly includes ATACMS missiles, capable of striking targets hundreds of kilometers behind the front lines.
Well, I think President Trump has figured out that President Putin has been stringing him along, has been tapping him along, as President Trump has said earlier, that President Putin is not serious about any kind of an agreement, a ceasefire. President Trump had thought he might be.
Hence, apart from changing the narrative on military support for Ukraine, while assuring Americans that the United States will not incur additional costs as a result, the White House is working on hitting Russia with tariffs, this time not directly, which has so far been ineffective. The aim is to scare Russia's economic partners.
This is significant. So today, if you are in Beijing, or in Delhi, or you're in Brazil, and you know that this is coming to you, you might want to call Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin and say, hey, friend, we are still buying stuff from you, but you have got to get serious when it comes to these negotiations on a ceasefire or a peace deal, or otherwise we get hit by these secondary sanctions. There will be also an effect directly on Russia, of course. But this is really significant, and it is smartly designed by the president.
Hence, the 50 days Trump gave Moscow to sign a peace agreement. This is not so much time for Putin as it is for his partners to exert pressure or possibly find alternative sources for their resource supplies. Without the income from oil and gas sales, Russia will not be able to finance the war, and this may ultimately force the Kremlin to actually start peace negotiations.